Welcome, everyone. This is another episode of QCTV, and I'm Loren Gailey. We are starting in just a moment, but I want to invite you to hit the like button on this page and to share your comments as well. We are in an after party as well, and I invite you to join us. QCTV starts now. Welcome to another Quantum Conversation, brought to you by acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us in this episode of QCTV. I am so pleased to welcome back Zoe Davenport, who holds a multi-dimensional space for us in our own evolution. Zoe, welcome back. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Loren. It's so nice to be here. I can't believe was it the beginning of the year or last year that I was on? I can't even remember. I think it was last year.
It was at the end of last year, and oh my gosh, this
Wow.
world has changed, but let's talk about it a little bit.
Sure.
We are being called to step up in a new way. Are you getting that with your clients and people that you work with and help?
Yeah, definitely. I get right now that this is not a drill. This is actually happening on a global scale, and how wonderful that we are collectively understanding how unity consciousness works, and how we are all understanding our roles as starseeds, as light workers, as grid workers, as way showers, however we identify our spirit in this human form. This is what we've been preparing for since 2012. Energetically, emotionally, physically, spiritually. So it's no coincidence that the world is suddenly having collective focus on purging, on boosting the immune system, on looking after the body. And what's interesting as well is even when we feel that we're really kind of connected to our truth and connected to source, what I've been witnessing for the last kind of few weeks is how easy it is to kind of get knocked off that axis, and how easy it is to kind of be sucked and pulled into a greater collective version of what people think and perceive reality to be. And I just keep getting what I'm being shown kind of energetically is I see all these different dimensional layers that are kind of coexisting, which is, there's nothing new there. We've known that. But it's a choice on where I want to focus my energy. So do I want to focus my energy on mass panic and hysteria and emptying the shelves of toilet roll or toilet paper, however you say this in the States? Do I want to focus my energy on all of the really kind of dark, shadowy things that are perhaps playing out in the manifestation of this? The conspiracy theories, the underlying sub reasons as to why this is all happening, or do I want to come and sit in the stillness of the chaos that's happening? And I keep choosing the stillness because in that stillness, I'm able to understand all of the different perspectives that everybody's having of reality. And then I'm able to kind of fold it into itself and hold my light and hold my space. And that's our truth. That's kind of what we've been in preparations for through this continued cleansing, clearing, purification process, especially since 2012 and before. This is so that our bodies could hold high frequencies of light, so that when the day came that things are starting to crumble, we can step up. And so we are being asked to step up. It's like, okay, this is not a drill. This is actually happening. And how we choose to show up in the events, how we choose to show up in our thoughts, how we choose to show up in what's happening on a global scale, how we choose to show up in what we're holding true in our own experience, is paving the way for the next 10 to 20 years of our experience. And we get the choice in how that wants to play out. And our vibrational frequencies combined as light workers across the planet have the biggest say on what is actually going to happen. So I feel actually a lot of joy right now. I feel a lot of joy in the perceived chaos and unrest and discomfort and uncomfortableness that probably thousands upon thousands of people are feeling right now, because they have to sit with themselves in their space. Do they like their space? Are they comfortable in their space? Do they feel expanded in their space? They get to slow down. And so I was sharing a lot about this last year. You know, we need to be ready, because there's going to be a lot of people looking for answers to questions they didn't even know they had until they had to literally be forced to sit with themselves in that space, in the uncomfortableness. And that's what I'm choosing to focus on here, Loren, because, and as I shared, like I have been deep into all of the different consciousness layers of reality, all the different threads of existence, what's happening with 5G, what's happening with the coronavirus, what's happening with the governmental systems, what's happening with the economy, what's happening with money. And I have to bring it into a central intelligence of collectively, as light workers on this planet, we're bridging the gap between where we were, what we were doing to this planet, and creating that heaven on earth. Because I firmly believe those of us that are here, we are from the future. We are our higher selves. We came here to embody our human expression so that we could pave the way for others. And, you know, we didn't say it was going to be easy, but it can be joyful dependent on what perspective of reality we choose to focus on. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Zoe, because it really is what many of us are getting, this pause where, you know, not everybody is at home. Others are going to places of work in the healthcare industry, and so we honor those folks and the service industry and those who are getting food out to people and doing things like that. And for those of us who are sitting at home, it is that moment for pause. And that's beautiful, because that is an awakening. And so from that, Zoe, I love the joy that you feel and that you see. And that is reported as well. Now, I have to be honest and say I've been hearing reports from people, getting emails from people, and even myself feeling depression. See, I'm going to cry right now, feeling, you know, and it's the collective that we're feeling. But what do we do with this? We do exactly what you said. We choose those sitting in the stillness. And when we sit in the stillness, as you were mentioning, and others report back, there's a lot of divine inspiration. So there's a lot of fear coming up, right? And we're feeling that fear. So for those who are out there feeling fear and getting depressed, we know the tools. We have the tools to clear that out, right? Would you like to add anything about this? Because there is a light at the end of the tunnel, or on the flip side, there's positive things happening.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I would even look at it from this viewpoint, that we're not waiting to get anywhere. We're not waiting for something to change. As we accept the absolute of what reality is demonstrating to us in that present moment, that's where we find our power. And the waves that people are feeling, especially when you're super, you know, you're tapped into the collective consciousness, you know, feel that, embrace it, and love it. Is this mine? No. So we let it go. Because who we are, our true core cellular essence, is divinity. We're source consciousness. And so whatever kind of feelings, emotions that we are experiencing in the turmoil of the collective consciousness, we have to keep feeling it, embracing it, cry, have a cry if that's what we need to do, and love it and surrender to it. And, you know, the fears that come up for people, what are we going to do about money? When are we going to get to leave our homes again? When are we, we can start to future project, right? How is this going to work out? It's no different than what we have been doing in our awakening for 10 plus years, except this is just on a global scale, right? As within, so without. As out, so within. So what I've been experiencing is I go through kind of waves. Mm-hmm. Most of my waves, I feel really centered, because I'll be honest, not much has shifted in my reality as a result of what's happening on a global scale. I work from home. I live in the middle of the jungle. I have access to an organic garden. Like, I live in this house next to a cold running river. We have a pool, we have a yoga deck. And so I'm able, because I was planted here, like I was specifically meant to be here in this experience at this time so that I could be transmuting the collective frequencies at a very deep level. And so I've been kind of having a lot of interesting sleep patterns and kind of waves of energy where it's like I really literally will feel every single person going crazy in their house. I'll feel every single person jumping for joy. I'll feel every single person, worried about their families. I'll feel every single person worried about death. Death is a huge one right now, right? Because the fear that has been installed in this experience has got people to really question their values and to look at themselves and to look at their bodies. And so what I'd say to anyone that, if you are in quarantine right now and you're at home and you're sitting with that and, lean into it, embrace it, love it, bring it in closer, that emotion of the collective, and just keep bringing energy through your body. Our bodies are amazing energetic vessels to be conduits of higher dimensional frequency. That's what we do as light workers, right? We're working in the light. We're working in those higher dimensional realms. We're working in the quantum field. And that's where we're redesigning what reality is on a global scale. And one thing I wish to add to that as well is everyone needs to get on board with this. Like I'm also been seeing many people in their journey, like actually surprised that something like this is happening. It's like, we've known because we have been creating this. We have been sharing the 3D matrix system has to crumble for the new to take place. When we reach a certain number of frequencies of bodies on Earth that are holding a higher vibrational light, things can really start changing. So what this shows to me is that many of us have been doing our work and now it's time to come together in unification. The way in which we've been doing things has to evolve. And even though many of us perceive to believe that we are living actually in fifth and above dimensional consciousness, there's many of us that still we're still in the system. We're still connected to how that was showing up for us. And so, this is some really beautiful gifts for ourselves to really go inwards. But I feel me personally, I felt into the timeline that my mum and dad might not make it through this experience. And I've kind of come to peace with what that might entail. I've sent love and blessings to every single person involved in, this experience on a global scale. And as we continue to hold ourselves in our highest version, our highest vibration, the emotional part of it, it's like we can understand it, we can love it, but it doesn't become us. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's some beautiful people out there that are doing amazing things for the world, including you and me, including everyone listening to this transmission right now. We're all coming together for the purpose of co-creation. That's what we've been sharing for 10 plus years, and it's happening. It's like, Breathe into
Mhm.
that.
Yes, breathe into that and, listen to your higher self, connect with your higher self, and ask to be given the guidance, and you will be shown the guidance. It's been really interesting even in my own life. I'm not ready to share on it just yet, but my husband and I are collaborating in a new way on something that was totally out of left field, but actually in service the way that we see that we can offer something in service to our community. And so that's really interesting. What else I like to point out as you're talking about the old systems crumbling, we're here with ease and grace, and the masters on the higher realms and the angelic realms are definitely communicating with us, giving us energy, giving us guidance, and that's beautiful inspiration. Yet, on a more subtle level, in more of a mundane level, I'm starting to see the demand from the collective is being set at a new standard. For example, those companies who are offering paid leave for their employees without have those employees having to take from their sick time and things like that, their time off. That's a beautiful thing because it's setting that standard for other companies. And so now other companies who aren't doing that, including, ooh, some government entities like police departments, if they're not following suit in the same way, they're kind of being frowned upon. So isn't that interesting? And
Mm,
this is where it totally gets humane and it totally gets spiritual, but it's not all spiritual. I want to give a quick quote I heard the other day. We have to live as 200% human,
mm,
100% material. We're still here in this material
mhm,
world, and 100% spiritual. What do you
mm.
say about that?
I love it. I love the ripple effect that's happening from people paying it forward and feeding into different ways that they can support on a global scale. I think that's great, and that's going to send energy throughout the whole entire world. And it's something that I have shared since I was a child. You know, you have to have one foot in this world and one foot in the other world. If you have 2 feet in one world or 2 feet in the other world, it's a crying shame because you don't get to experience the full rainbow of our expression as divine consciousness. So absolutely, one foot in this world, one foot in the other world, and together that creates balance and harmony. I love my human experience. I love being the version that my soul decided to have. I love my name. I love my body. I love that I get to experience reality through the feminine vessel. I love working with my sacra. I love learning how to receive. I love the creativity that comes out. I love the essence that I'm in when I'm free and I'm dancing. And yet I also love my higher self. I love my ability to see energy. I love my ability to read people. I love my ability to have unconditional love, and I feel this experience that everybody is collectively focused on right now is really getting us to, it's kind of like a bit of a kick up the bum, like when we get comfortable on our spiritual journeys, the universe is like, oh, they're ready for more.
It's a
And
kick in
so
the astral. Yes. It's a kick in the
yeah.
astral, and, it's, there's a lot of channeled messages. We'll be sharing that on this platform. You may have a channeled message as well, and the channeled message really, is that, we are masters, and this is a test or a pre-test. It's not the ultimate test. So thank you, Zoe. I wanna point out that our show today, we're gonna talk even deeper on it, is connection with source. And what's interesting is that this is going within so deeply and remembering our connection with source. And it's kind of ironic because um, our Mercury retrograde moment would have it that there was a typo in the email that went out. And in the subject line, it's conversations with source, getting to know your diving self. But that is humorous because we have
Oh,
to dive so deep within.
It's funny.
Thank you, autocorrection key. So anyway, this connection with divine source, this connection with source, conversations with source, that's our higher self. So talk
Mhm.
a little bit about this and ways that you love to really connect and listen to the higher self for the guidance that truly leads the way.
Mhm. So I find many of us, when we go through our awakening journey, we have these snippets and experiences of feeling energy, feeling expansion, feeling who we are, seeing, sensing, like things start to wake up within us that we haven't experienced before when we were solely 2 feet in the realms of the human. Um, but what I find many people doing is they kind of almost feel they have to switch one version off to be fully understanding in their human, or the other way around. So we go too far into our spiritual self, and then the kind of the human life kind of goes to doesn't flow as easily, right? And so my purpose that's come through, especially since the 1111 Gateway, I ran a masterclass that was pretty powerful in really getting clear on the right track of like, right, what the humans had fun in the creativity of what the human thinks that she's meant to do. What am I actually here to do? Like, what is actually wanting to come through? And it opened up a stream of consciousness within me that was flowing through, that was all about, I am here to be the embodiment of divine self-expression. I am here to be the embodiment of true connection to source, and to hold that connection when you're having breakfast, when you're driving in the car, when you're talking to family, when you're connecting with nature, when you're writing, when you're speaking, when you're sleeping. It's that continuous stream of consciousness, so that you understand in each moment of your experience how, one, you are interacting with the physical world around you, and two, how the physical world around you is connecting and interacting with you. It's also about a deep knowing of trust, faith, and surrender into the how things are going to work out when we are making those changes. You know, this is something I'm really good at supporting others with, you know, when they're kind of staring at the edge of the cliff face, or what's going to happen once I get divorced, or what's going to happen if I leave my job. And, you know, these kind of human things that we go through that can feel really, really, really big at the time and really challenging. And I just kind of push everyone off and help them to understand that this is part of the journey, the experience. And so when I am in alignment with myself, I'm also in alignment with my purpose. I'm also in alignment with source. And I know that because I feel a clear connection in the way that I'm speaking, in the way that I am doing, in the way that I am creating, and in the way that I am inviting people into my field, and not the other way around. And so that comes also a deep connection to nature. And you know, it's this goes even beyond channeling. You see, it's almost like your hand may end physically there, or your perception of what physical reality is, and the plant that you are connecting with, you may feel that it kind of starts there. But when you're in your true divine connection to source, you understand that actually it's part of you, and it's part of you, and you're part of it. And then that plant then goes deep into the roots, and then it's connected to the little rocks, and then you notice a little ant. It's like you understand how you are as the divine in your human expression. And so it helps you to step into observer mode a lot more around your experiences. So sometimes I kind of look through with my eyes, and I'm kind of fascinated by the body. I'm like, wow, look at these hands I can do things with. And as I start to maybe play with nature, maybe if I'm on the beach and I'm running sand through my hands and feeling the thousands and thousands of years that it took for that to evolve, that was part of my experience as source, right? We have a really deeper awareness when we are connected. And, you know, many people are probably saying now, well, how do I connect to source? How do I connect to my higher self? How do I channel? How do I feel this? How? And I would say that just as we learn to write, to read, to draw, to paint, it is a practice. It's a spiritual practice. It's the daily intention to connect in. And it's the constant reminders throughout your day. Am I coming from a place of connection, or am I feeling disconnected right now? Well, you'll know when you're disconnected, when you're living in the past or you're living in the future. You're worried about the how. You're in the energy of ego, or maybe you have jealousy, envy, pain, resentment, expectations. Maybe you're talking about others in an unfulfilling way, you know, in a judgmental way. And what this does is it pulls us out of alignment. You know when you're in alignment because you genuinely feel joy. Your house could burn down and you probably meditate saying, I release that which no longer serves my highest good. The universe is like, oh, she's ready for that. So when we continue this journey, we have to become in life, you know. And I wish I had a dollar every time over the last 10 years that a client has said to me, you know, I love being in my spiritual world. Like, it's just so light and fluffy and I feel connected and, oh, this is amazing. But then I have to kind of go back to the real world and do the mundane things like pay bills and take my kids to school and drive in a car. And I'm like, whoa, hang on. Like, we need to infuse both worlds into one stream of consciousness so that you understand that you expressing self as consciousness in your human form. And any time that we're feeling a lowering of our frequency, well, we're not connected, we're out of alignment. It's like the hose pipe starts to have loads of kinks in it. And is humanity ready for the complete level of connection of all of their multidimensional selves, of all of the higher streams of consciousnesses at one time? Probably not, because we fry our brain cells. But with a spiritual practice and with time and that constant connection, access to whole of vibration, of source, our bodies are able to handle it. And so I can share that journey. You know, 10, 12 years ago, I definitely wasn't doing sound attunements and DNA activations for people. But I remember the first time an activation came in for me and my hand was drawing these symbols, and there were 6 symbols that came through. I wrote them down, and it's 6 for now. I mean, there's thousands as you continue to empty out your vessel of density, you know, purging your thoughts, purging your body, detoxing the foods, and holding yourself in who of light. There will be more for you. And so fast forward 12 years, now I access part of my higher self can guide me into these higher realms, and I can bring these sounds through. This is the frequency that I need to be grounded at. So with time, we learn to ground ourselves in all of these frequencies, yet we still get to be the human expression. I think having access to it bypasses any of the sadness and the karma and anything that we thought we had to continue cycling through. We truly come into our self-expression, and we truly come into 0 point. So we can start creating from the quantum. And it is a practice. It's every day. You know, I couldn't connect with a tree like I can now, you know, 12 years ago, but I definitely knew to hug a tree and just, you know, and start to kind of build a relationship back up again with who I am as source consciousness, as all of these other parts of myself. And this is great. If you have a partner right now, or you can even do this with a friend, is sitting in front of somebody and staring into their eyes. And you do this long enough through breath work, you can actually see yourself looking back at you, and you understand that there is no end and beginning. You are. It's really powerful. Then it's like, wow, and this is how source chose to express itself through this person, and I get to connect with myself as source person, but we're having our individual experience. It's truly beautiful, and this is what I'm committed to helping others embody, because when we are, there's no question of our paths. There's no question of what's going to happen tomorrow. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. All we have is now. In that, and any of the fears and the conditionings and the beliefs that we had up until this point, it's like, phew, they just disappear out of our reality. And this is the passion I'm through now.
Well, the bandwidth that from you, Zoe, is a little shaky. So thank you for that. But I have a solution. So what we could do, if we need to, we'll have you turn off your video for a moment, because you are going to lead us through a process that's really going to help us and facilitate more light within us. So if we do that, I can show an image and you can talk, but maybe turn off your video. Or do you need the video because it helps to transmit the symbols?
You know, I'm going to also ask for some universal support with the Wi-Fi. This kind of happens when I start kind of raising my frequency, and then stuff starts breaking and blowing up. And
it's true. Yes.
I don't really want the 5G technology. I would like us to bring in the 5D technology of the, of the equipment that can hold our frequencies and the Wi-Fi connections.
The 5D technology. Yes. Yes. We have to upgrade. We can upgrade our equipment. We have to upgrade our equipment with us. Otherwise we'll blow it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Last night there was a laptop in my house that just went pop, and it just like didn't explode. It wasn't hot or anything, but it just popped open. Isn't that wild?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Anyway.
I'm not setting that intention for this one.
No.
Actually upgraded in December, actually, for that reason, because I was getting really into so yeah. How was the connection?
Let's have you turn off. I'm going to share my screen. So I'm going to put up an image. Let's have you turn off your video just for this portion of a process and an activation. Okay. And let's see how that works.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Okay. How is the connection?
It sounds wonderful.
Yeah, amazing. Let me turn this off, and then we can listen to the birds in the background as well. And just the beautiful, abundant vibrations of the jungles of Costa Rica, the birds, the odd child in the background, the trees. And just allowing yourself to receive in this moment, receive this transmission of light, receiving your, allowing yourself to come into a comfortable position by just closing your eyes and just allowing your posture to be how it wants to be, where it feels comfortable to you. So maybe you're sat up, or maybe you're lying down or cross-legged. And just giving us a few rolls forwards. And then just tipping your chin in slightly towards your chest, so you feel a lengthening in the back of your neck, crown up towards the sky. and tipping your core and feeling your sit bones really root to your chair or the floor or however you are positioned. And feeling the soles of your feet connecting in with the earth below you. And having the palms of your downwards today in more of a grounded position. And as you bring your awareness to the nose for a count of 4 and out through the nose for a count of 4. So breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Just following this beautiful, easy 4-count breath. As you come into your body, as you come into this space. And letting everything else go, everything outside of you. Any of the recent events or worries, or just bring yourself into your body, bring yourself into your heart space. Bring yourself into presence with your breathing. The beautiful yet powerful act of breathing. Breathing in, breathing out. And just reminding yourself with your breath, you breathe in and you're able to let go of that breath because you know that there's another one coming. And just setting that intention for this space, setting this intention for how you go about your day with your consciousness, with your thoughts. When you're feeling into what is to happen, what is to come, you breathe in, you breathe out, and then you breathe in again. There is always something there for you. There is always another breath to take as you let go of that breath. And we call in the directions of the north, east, south, and west. We call upon the dimensional layers of the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. We call upon source consciousness. And just bringing your energy, your awareness about 40 feet above the crown of your head and connecting in with a golden light. Imagining this in your mind's eye, your third eye, the space between your eyebrows. See, sense, feel, or imagine, or make it up. Beautiful gold energy. And just bringing this energy down into the crown of your head, down into your third eye. Bringing this golden energy down into your throat, down into your heart, down into your solar plexus, down into your sacral, down into your root, down through the soles of your feet, down into the earth, all the way down, bringing this golden energy through your body and down into the earth, almost feeling your shoulders being pulled down, your body being pulled down through this golden light, down into the earth, all the way into the crystalline core of Gaia. And you can imagine a beautiful crystal quartz in the center of the earth as you connect to this central point through this golden energy. And imagine this energy now growing outwards from the center of the earth through all of these root systems, all the way up to the surface of the earth and wrapping the entire planet in gold energy, your golden energy, connecting in with the crystalline grid of Gaia, the 5th dimensional grid of Gaia, feeling yourself as this geometric golden energy all the way around the earth, connecting in with all of the sacred portals, connecting in with all of the starseeds and all of the beings that are here on earth as you. Deepening your breath, feeling this connection, and bringing this energy into the center of the earth, up through the earth, up through the soles of your feet, up into your root, up into your sacral, your solar plexus, up into your heart. And just allowing this golden energy to come out from the front and back of your heart now. And radiating all the way around you in your auric field, filling your auric field with golden light, golden source energy. Connecting you to source, connecting you to the fifth dimensional frequencies of Gaia, connecting you to all of the other beings that are here on earth in support of you, divinely expressing themselves. And then expanding your auric field out 10 feet around you. So feel yourself filling up space around you. Open up your auric field. Beautiful golden radiant energy all the way around you, opening yourself up 20 feet around you. Feeling yourself opening up, like unwinding, almost like an energetic stretch as you breathe and bring your auric field 50 feet around you, 100 feet around you, 1,000 feet around you, opening up, and in your mind's eye, just seeing this beautiful halo of golden energy circulating all the way around you and opening yourself back out to the entire size of the universe. Opening up your energy, opening up your heart, opening up your auric field, opening yourself up as divine consciousness, expressing yourself in this moment as an activation, as an expansion of your thoughts, of your being, of your heart, of your radiance, of your beauty, of your divinity. And stay in this open space, stay in this open container of expansion. Beautiful golden energy connecting you to source, connecting you to your heart, to your truth, connecting you to the earth, connecting you to all other beings, connecting you to the universe, connecting you to your emotional intelligence, connecting you to universal intelligence. And in this moment, filling your energy in with intentions of joy, of love, of gratitude, of abundance, of prosperity, of health, of well-being, of creativity, of knowing the exact steps, the exact know-how on your journey from this moment forward. As you expand, you're connected to your truth, filling yourself in with your higher self-consciousness, knowing that you are in this expansion, who you are at a cellular level, at a cosmos level. Feeling yourself opening in this expansion, continuing to stay expanded. It is not a normal process to be this open, to be this alert to your energy field. Feel your energy filling up with golden energy all the way around you. Taking this moment to take up space. Keep expanding. If you feel yourself starting to come in and contract, just deepening your breath. Breathing more gold energy into the space, into your auric field. And just feeling what it feels like to be this expanded. And knowing that as you end, the universe begins. As the universe begins, and bringing this energy into your space. For you are one. You are connected. You are energy. And so in this space of expansion, you are able to witness yourself as source consciousness. You are able to also witness yourself in your divine self-expression. Taking this moment to feel into this beautiful process. How wonderful it is to be here in this space. How wonderful it is to be alive. How wonderful it is to be connected. Kiataya shukoyama satyatomo. Si shukom bayaronomosa. Yasama kaito yomosama saya. Ikamatai doromosasho. Isofomaka tiatamosushumusa. Ikamasamai domosa shurama. Ikamboy aramosa. Taking a deep breath in. Just taking a few moments in this open space. Fitting in with your desires, with your intentions. in this beautiful, open, expanded space. Allowing yourself to start coming down into your being. It's almost creating a concentration of your expansion as you bring yourself down, all the way down. Keeping your auric field expanded around 10 feet around you. Bringing this beautiful essence, this beautiful truth, this energy down into your being, down into your heart space. And just allowing yourself to place your hands on your heart, connecting in with your heart, your divine portal of transformation, your divine portal of your deep knowing, your deep connection to who you be. Just taking a moment of intention, reminding yourself who you are. Taking a deep breath in, deep breath out, deep breath in, deep breath out. And then just rubbing your hands together to create some heat. And then just placing them over your eyes and gently opening your eyes and coming back into this space.
Thank you. And that was beautiful. So let's try your video again and see you.
Oh, sure.
That is so refreshing. What a beautiful experience to really come to center and to be very present. Zoe, I have a new phrase. The now moment is more present than ever.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Because we're literally in the now moment. We can't go, and some are being forced into the now moment, right? So I love that whole process. And I hope that everyone watching is truly in this golden essence of love and light. And we thank you because as you do this, not only are you changing the world, you're changing your DNA. And it's just so beautiful. And we got this. We know what to do. All right. Well, I want to say that Zoe is going to be hanging around with us on our Zoom meeting because we have an after party. And this is really where it's for anybody who purchases her special offer. We're going to talk about that in a moment. You can also just buy a single event ticket, or you can be part of our community. It's our New Earth community. It really is a place for like hearts to share and ask and laugh together. And it's just so beneficial to be in others' energy of like-minded people because we really do fortify and support one another. So we're going to go into this QCTV after party in a moment. But for those of you who would like to work with Zoe, she holds a multi-dimensional doorway for us, and she's got a special offer that she's going to review. And we've also got a couple of independent events. These are mastery empowerment courses that we've done with Zoe. Really incredible. The first one is a 2.5 hour experience on cord cutting, and it goes very deep. And there's another one coming up live on April 25th. And so, Zoe, please share with us how people can work with these programs because this is truly beneficial to accelerate one's awakening and actually anchoring of more light.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the cord cutting journey is incredibly powerful. It was it's a really beautiful masterclass, and that alone is worth the offer for the revelations that you'll get from the experience of it. It goes way beyond our kind of simple understanding of cord cutting. It really helps us to release the etheric chords at a quantum speed and a quantum level with just pure love, pure understanding as to why we had those experiences in the first place. And it's not necessarily just releasing chords with others. It's to emotional behaviors that we have. It's belief systems. You know, it's the belief systems that are governing the way we are responding, the way that we're interacting with the reality around us. So I'm really excited that you put that on there, Loren. And then yes, we're going to be running a live experience on April 25th, and the details of that are still coming through, but it definitely will be supportive as to what has been happening in the global changes at the moment, and it will really help to give you some answers and some guidance on what is next on your journey. So anyone that's kind of feeling into, you know, keeps wondering about the how, we can dive into that in the masterclass, and I'll take you through some techniques as we are connecting to yourself as your higher self, and create an open channel of conversation so that you can ask yourself, what am I doing right now? Am I fulfilling what I came here to do? What can I do to move forward? How can I be supportive to myself, my family, and those around me? So I feel energetically things will start to kind of like level out by that date as well. And so it will be very much current to the time, and then moving forward after that as well. And then I was going to share this as well, like what better way to be working on ourselves right now as we're in these quote unquote versions of what quarantine is, or, you know, basically we're just taking some space from the world and we're diving into ourselves. And so the course that I put together is very fitting. It's an I Am Enough Return to Innocence course, which is a 4-week journey that takes you step by step, coming back to your essence, coming back to your pure divine essence of who you were at a soul when you were born, when you came into this life, before you had your experiences, before you had the programming, before you had the conditions, before you had the childhood that probably wasn't up to scratch, you know, because most of us didn't. We came into very interesting experiences. And so that journey for you is really stripping down a lot of the kind of the energetic density that has been perhaps kind of governing your reality. Because when we come back, who are we at our true level? We're source consciousness. Who are we when we come into physical experience? There's nothing more innocent on this earth than a newborn, right? The newborn is just so, it's pure. A newborn is pure divine love. They're pure divine love. And so this journey helps to reconnect you to your birth, to your baby. And the journey of that was really beautiful when I ran it. And I always set intentions when I run these programs that when you listen to it again, or if it's the first time, you are in the energy that we were in when we created it. And there's some really incredible experiences that happened that you will get to experience in that 4-week container. So that's part of the special offer as well. And then I also added in some additional bonus courses. One is the Path of the Feminine, which is really coming into that yin space. So that's perfect for right now as we're kind of in a resting space. The other one is an abundance accelerator, which is perfect because I know many people are probably feeling into, well, what's going to happen about money? What's, you know, let's remove what money is and just focus on pure abundance. Pure abundance is source energy. How do we get to play with source energy? Well, we sit and we create it with our thoughts. How can we create ourselves a reality where we're fully supported on all levels? So it goes beyond money. And so that's a 4-hour class, which is great for you to do at home. We have more time, you know, we're not out into the world busying around. And then the other part of that was my book, Love is the Answer, which I published about 3 or 4 years ago. It's still just as relevant today. It's got some really great breathing techniques and tools and affirmations to help with more of the human stuff that we experience through our awakening. You know, I wish I had $1 for every time I meet clients and they're really kind of activated in their higher centers, their higher chakras, but they don't love their bodies. They don't love who they are. They're kind of, they don't like their face. They're judgmental of themselves, and stuff comes up for them and they hold on to things. And so that book's really great for that continued self-study of self-love, which is just as important as, you know, if not the most important thing, as part of all of it. And then I've added in some additional short bonus meditations. They're about 10 to 15 minutes long. They're really great to just listen to when you're doing your morning practice, or when you feel you want to kind of shift your frequency back up. One is on abundance, one is on unconditional love, and one is on connecting to your child. So I think we split this into two. So there's two options for you. The second option is the one that includes the live masterclass and also the core cutting. So I'm excited for anyone who is feeling connected to these programs. They're great. They're great programs. I put a lot of energy into keeping them current and relevant, even after running them live. They've all been updated recently with binaural beats and cleaned up the audios, and they're in a really lovely program format. So you just kind of follow step 1, step 2. It tells you exactly what you need to do. So yeah.
All right, beautiful. Thank you. That is all on the special offer link that you'll find on this webpage. If you want to work with Zoe, she's beautiful, she's magical, she does incredible work, and she's a facilitator for you too. She works with star seeds and really is an activator. So thank you for that. You can again find that link on the description box on this webpage. And again, if you buy this special offer, you'll get a link to our after party, which starts immediately after this broadcast. Be sure to check your Gmail inbox. If you're purchasing that and you have a Gmail account, check your promotions box, because that's usually where our emails go. All right, so that's a fun time for us just to connect with one another in our heart space, a QCTV after party. Zoe, this has been beautiful. This has been fortifying, and it's been calming and soothing. I hope everyone is feeling this, because again, you're changing the world as we go and be the new earth leaders for those who need us to actually assist them in staying calm. It's why we're all here. So as we say goodbye, Zoe, I just want to have you maybe share a message that we might not have gotten to on the end of our conversation here.
I would just say for everyone listening right now is the most important thing is keep coming back into your knowing, keep coming back into your center, and trust in the unfolding process that's happening right now. And, you know, when we can release what fear is to us, when we can break it down, and this is something I've always done, what's the worst that can happen? And when we can understand that what's the worst that can happen really isn't as bad as we thought it was, it sets us free, and it helps us to create a trajectory of focused intention of what we are truly embodying here. We're here to embody heaven on earth, and to create that, we have to honor the stillness, we have to honor the resting, we have to honor diving into ourselves. And so, you know, there are so many programs right now that are really implemented to create fear, to create panic, to create the unknown, to create conflict, to create uncertainty. And it's almost like you have to kind of laugh at it all, because who you are is source consciousness. This is kind of one of 1 trillion billion versions of reality that we're choosing to focus on at this time. And so with that, we can keep focusing on what we know to be true in our hearts, is that we came here to embody heaven on earth. We came here to be the way showers, and it's time. We're being called is to step up. We cannot step up in fear. We cannot step up in the vibration of lack or scarcity or uncertainty or worrying or divide. We have to we have to step up truly in our heart space. And we do that by our continued connection to source. And if some of you out there are literally not even allowed to leave your house, then spend time with the plant that you have or your crystals. That's part of the earth. Make that connection. Or do the practice that I shared in the video today around just really expanding your energy out. Because when we expand out, we find solution in that expansion. We don't find solution in the contraction of the problem. And our perception of the problem is that the world's crumbling. Yes, it is. It's not as devastating as mass media would have us believe. You know, they're having kind of like a field day right now. We have to hold our calm and smile and be love and be supportive and pay it forward and be the angels in somebody else's life. And that's really true mastery, is knowing without a shadow of a doubt who we are. So yeah.
Thank you, angels. Thank you for stepping up and into your role. All right, that feels so wonderful. Continue to expand the light and bring the calm and bring the peace. And it begins with you. Thank you so much, Zoe Davenport. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We thank you so much because you are part of our energy field that we have created. And we thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to thank Zoe Davenport for this beautiful quantum conversation and upliftment today. Thank you. Zoe, thank you so much. We are going to see you in our after party in a moment. And I just give you a big heart hug. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Loren.
And here is something really special. Some of you may know I record plant music. And so one of the things that we can do as we're taking this energy from Zoe, from the process that she showed us today, expanding this love and the light that we filled up with in this process from Zoe. And let's do it with plant music. This plant music is also infused with the Ho'oponopono energy of the forgiveness prayer. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And this will go around any feeling that we forgot about this connection with Source. All right. And so this is how we dance our way to the cosmic heart today. This is about a 90-second plant music as we say goodbye. Thank you, everyone. Namaste.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts, as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. Access all quantum conversations, special offers from our guests, and online healing retreats by visiting acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. We leave you now with music from the universe. Music literally created by the universe, as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music, available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste.